In this tutorial I will show you how I constructed this parachuting freefall scene in Adobe Flash. Before I go on, I have a new exclusive in-depth tutorial I just finished editing. It's about animating complex kinetic movement in the human body, and as an example I'm using this 360 skateboarding scene. I'm making it freely accessible to my mailing list subscribers for a limited time. It's over half an hour in length and it goes into a lot of depth about how I created this scene. It has live commentary as well, so you can hear my exact thought process and the techniques that I use as I do them. For those of you who really want to sink your teeth into learning these techniques, I recommend that you head over to animatorguild.com and sign up for an account so that you can watch it. Okay, now back to the video. Hello guys, welcome back. So in this tutorial we're going to be looking at this base jumping scene. It's a very fun scene. Well, I'm calling it base jumping scene because I think that's the closest comparison I can make to it. So he's falling off a cliff hundreds of miles above sea level to the ground below, and it's a mystery what's down there on the ground below. So I'm going to be doing, in particular, I might be messing around with this scene, but mainly it's going to be this one. So he's going to be coming right at the camera. The camera's just going to be suspended in the sky. We're looking upwards here. He comes down and towards us, almost smashing into the camera, and then we change to looking downwards, and then he's going to spiral down in this kind of fashion down towards the ground below, and then it's going to fade to black, and then we might even get onto this scene, but I doubt it. So because I think this is going to be enough for us to do for one tutorial. If you know my videos before, you kind of know how I do it. I like to just show you by doing. So I'm going to do this, and then hopefully you'll pick up how to do it just by watching me. If you do need like a real tutorial on how to get started in Flash, don't worry, I've got you covered. I made one. It's over on animatorguild.com. You can go and look it up. It's over an hour of content. It will take you through everything you need to know more or less about Flash, even exporting things, how to export a video properly and stuff like that. So go check that out if you don't know about it already. Before I begin, I need to change the cloth around. So oh yeah, wait, yeah, there we go. Hold on, cool. Frame there, and now I want to put a frame before this where he's closer to us with a look of shock on his face because he's just fallen off a cliff basically, and then he's gonna reach out, but it's too late. So I'm just gonna try and do that real quick. Okay, so now with that out of the way, we can get onto doing this parachuting part. So we're going to start with him really small, and basically in order to show that he's coming right at the camera. So he's coming right at the camera with a high speed. So what we want is a very steep exponential speed gradient basically for his rate of increased scale. So he's going to start very small and slowly he's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But then as he gets closer to us, he's going to accelerate faster and faster, and it's going to be like, then he's going to be in our face before we know it. So we start off this movement with a very small frame. So we'll have him like here, he's almost a dot. See if we can try something like that. Maybe, yeah, that seems alright. We'll add some in-betweens in. We'll be able to alter these as we develop this further. Right now it doesn't have to be that distinguishable. The main thing is that it's distinguishable when he gets closer. going to put one in between in there. It's still, you see how I'm not doing a direct in between here because it's a very steep gradient. So he'll get big very suddenly according to the camera. And the more the more steep you can make this gradient, the better, the more power it will have. Be very sudden, see. So I'm gonna make this one smaller. Let's decrease it by 70. I did that by doing scale and rotate. That's Control-Alt-S on a Windows keyboard. I don't know what it is for Mac, but that allows you to scale things really quickly and type in the rate at which you want to scale them. It's very useful. Let's improve this frame a little bit. Yeah, he's going really fast here. Now, I think what I'm going to do actually is have this frame as a transition into this pose, because you see it's different. This pose. Now for this one, I'm going to change the pose a little bit. So we've roughed out that one. Let's leave it at that for now, and we'll go on to doing this one now. So I did this little spiral diagram here to show the descent. I think I'm going to delete that, but I'm going to redraw that on the layer above, and it's going to serve as a nice guide for our motion here, because we do want to keep that spiraling motion. So I'm just going to go on the layer above and I'm going to lightly put in, I'm going to reduce the alpha a little bit, and I'm going to put in a nice spiral. So we can already see that this one needs moving outwards, and we're going to create a lot more frames for this. Yeah. So like before, or only slightly different, we're going to start off fast, and it's going to slow down considerably as he goes further away from us. So generally the principle is that things that are closer to you move faster in your field of vision. Things that are further away move slower. That's like just generally how things work. That means that if something's moving closer to us, it means it will increase in its speed, whatever it's doing. I mean its movement speed. And the same goes for if it's moving away from us, it goes much slower when it's further away. So to imitate that, we have very few frames when it's close to us and lots more frames when it's further away from us. Another thing you can do is add a motion blur for the fast parts, which I think I'll do now. I'll just add in a motion blur real quick, and I do this by taking out certain lines and replacing them with more blurred lines in the direction that it's moving. Something like that. Might be useful to put some onion skin on when doing this. See how like with the hand, it came from this direction, so I draw the motion blurs in the direction that it came from, like that. Very simple. So you see how he goes into like a spiral shape? Right. I noticed that with trick parachuters, they have like a propeller on the back of them sometimes. They have these cool acrobatic parachutes. And what they do is they like swing round on them. They can even do like loop-the-loops on them. Yeah, I noticed that like the parachute will counteract the weight of the person, so their actual weight will be like in the middle where the head and shoulders are, and so the end points like here and here, they will swing round, and the center point will be the part which moves the least amount of distance. That's why the parachute is going to be on the inside of the spiral, and the head is the trajectory of the spiral itself, so it's going to follow that path, and the feet are going to swing outside of it like that. It's going to go downwards. You see how some of the force that was in the beginning, which was just straight down, some of that force is taken to do this spiral thing, and the force that's taken out of the descent is put into that spiral thing. It's quite interesting when you think about it from like a physics point of view. So there's still a little bit of slack in the parachute at this point. That's why I'm doing these little marks, little slack marks. You find the same in the shirt. You know, I just draw these slack marks across. Look really nice as well to do them. Okay, now it starts to really slow down. So that means that the poses will have less space in between them. So I draw it closer here. So the last one had a lot of space because it's the first one. We want it to be very fast when it's close to us. Now, draw it further away. That one wireframe as well. Actually, yeah, put it on wireframe. So, like I was saying earlier, the parachute's gonna kind of be the center pivot point almost. We can edit it a little bit, skewing it and stuff. Yeah, there's a nice little slant on the person's torso and legs. I'm going to modify this spiral because I think it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so soon the character will meet what is called terminal velocity. When you fall, you can't go past a certain speed. If your weight and air resistance stays the same, you can't go past a certain speed. So I'm guessing it will kind of normalize a little bit. I don't know. I'm just making some calculations in my head. I'm doing some overlapping here, so I think kind of overlaps here as he twists around a little bit. Might want to occasionally check that it's following a smooth movement by showing the frames with the onion skin on each side and then positioning it between them like that. And that really smooths things out quite nicely. What I've done here is, as he's lost energy, he's come from, like say this is the balloon. Right now the G-force is holding him like right out here at almost 90 degrees. So this is him here, and this is the balloon. And then as the energy decreases, the G-force decreases, he starts to come this way and go here. So as we're looking at it from here, that's what we can see. We stop being able to see him as he goes under the balloon. So that's the theory anyway. I think it seems to be working alright. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out my extended tutorials on animatorguild.com. If you wish to learn more about Flash animation and illustration, I recommend checking out my friend Colin over at Skipperwin. He has a great series of videos about his animated webcomic, The Crimson Fly. It's well worth checking out. See you next week.
But that's how webcomics are. You have to be ready for anybody to jump in at any single point, and every strip has to be a selling point. And then having to guess at what the proper timing is. And I think it worked really well for this particular strip, but I can also see it getting really convoluted in the future.